Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Firefighters Chalkboard. We are continuing on with the February Fools Podcast Bash. Say that three times really quick. I can't do it. Um, so tonight we've got the Red River Fools and their president, Kendall Shaw, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Kendall, why don't you take a second, tell everybody about yourself, and then we'll jump in and start talking about your chapter.
Not a whole lot to it, man. I've been a fireman for 3.5 years. I got involved with other full chapters early on, through some trainings, and just kind of dove headfirst into it. And we ended up opening up our own chapter later on down the road, first of last year, and just trying to keep the ball rolling, really. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're out of North Texas. We're between Red River and Texoma Falls. We're right at the border, Oklahoma and Texas on 75, but we ended up going to Red River instead.
Okay. Hey, it sounds good. It's catchy. It has something to do with the history of where you're from. I mean, I like it. You said it was a really young chapter, year and a half, something like that.
Just over a year, yes, sir.
Okay, cool deal. Well, I mean, first I applaud you for wanting to jump on here with such a new chapter, wanting to get out and do some bragging about the work you and the guys are doing and stuff. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let you tell the world about your chapter.
Well, like I said, we are very sorry. We're a very young chapter. Like I said, we started January 25. Uh, Definitely had some growing pains our first year. We knew it'd take a while to kind of get things up and going just due to lack of funds and trying to get membership built up. And we're kind of in a little void space of the Fools. The Hot Fools, they're located out of Frisco. They're about an hour south of us. And then the next closest chapter is probably the OKC Metro Fools, which is about 3 hours north. And, uh, we just kind of discussed with each other that we were kind of missing that where we were at. And uh, what we kind of work with is a little bit different than DFW, the Metroplex area. We're more suburban and rural interface departments, and so lots of the trains we were going to, there's lots of good information, but they were kind of missing some of the things we had to deal with more commonly, and low staffing and lack of manpower, water supply issues, stuff like that, and uh, so originally we actually got started by discussing putting together a firefighter scholarship program. And once we kind of got that ball rolling and talking, we just kind of kept going and building off of it. And that's when we decided to start the Fools chapter. And it's been awesome.
Good deal. I like the fact that everybody collectively as a group are going out and doing training with other chapters and stuff, and but then notice that you're getting good stuff, but it's not what you need really at home. You can still always bring something back, but you need something more to help people get what's going on at home to be better at that. And you're absolutely right. Fools is a good way to do it. Start your chapter because nobody knows what your training needs are more than the people that are working there, and gives you a chance to be able to grow on that. So, with that being said, what are some of the things your chapter's got going on as far as training coming up?
Yeah, we're pretty excited. We got Rob Backer coming in for 2 days in May doing the art of reading smoke. Uh, I tell everybody, man, if there's one class out there you can take, that class is phenomenal.
It
Even if
is.
you're a probie or a chief officer, it's a fundamental in what we do. Uh, so that's going on in May. We're trying to put together a quick little mini lecture series that I was going to teach some analytical search stuff in our area, just to kind of bridge the gap in between now and May. Uh, and then we're looking in the fall, putting together a little hands-on engine class. We got some guys that are pretty good engine nerds, and we got some truck guys in the area that want to put together a little truck class and get some hands-on stuff. We've done some lecture stuff in the past, but hands-on stuff sticks a lot better. It's a lot easier to get people bought in when you can get your hands dirty. That's all we got right now. We're kind of gonna see how we do on the Rob Backers class, and then look at what our funds are and see. Hopefully, maybe we can. Uh, Really, what we're hoping to do is get somebody like Justin McWilliams or Sean Duffy come in and do some search stuff because those guys are awesome. They cost some good money, which they deserve it.
Yeah. So how many pump nerds do you have? I'm a pump guy, so
I mean, so I would say we're more engine based in our area. We're not a huge truck culture in our area, which it's growing, luckily. You know, I prefer the pipe if I had to choose, but you know that truck works. You know, it's needed on the fire ground, but I would say we're probably three quarters engine guys realistically. But I love talking with the truck guys. You know, it all goes hand in hand, and you know, you got to have them. They got to have us. So
in a lot of places it's got limited manpower, you're doing both. I mean, I've been there and wore both of those hats. But I was talking about, you said that earlier y'all have, water supply issues, things like that. So how many guys have you got that are your pump nerds really trying to figure out how to get the most out of their water, how to get that 1,000 gallons a minute out of a mud pump?
we probably have two or three that are like, I mean, they're serious value. One of them, he's an engineer or actually, I'm sorry, he just promoted a captain in my department, and he's a chief at a volunteer department that borders two of our big paid departments in our area. And yeah, he's super into it. The training chief at my department's super big pump nerd, but we don't got as many as some other places. But you talk to them guys, they'll nerd out on all the math about everything. It's a little over my head still. I'm more of a preset poly type of guy at this point. I'm more worried about just handling the hand line these days.
It's all right. I'm a firm believer in you don't need to be at the pump panel if you've never been on the end of the hand line. So if you
Yeah.
don't know the difference between one or the other. But I got some good information I'll pass on to you once we get done with this stuff. Some stuff might be able to help you out on that way. Trolling through your Facebook and stuff, I see something you guys got showing on your Facebook through the Yard Foundation. Is that something you guys are trying to help do?
That's here recently. We had a member found out that he had stage 2 testicular cancer, and he's going to be off the job for a little bit and kind of fighting with workers' comp. They're trying to say it's not necessarily work related. You know, obviously financially that's a pretty big burden, so we were trying to help him out. He just started chemo this week, I believe. So hopefully everything's going to go good. It's just tough. Last year our biggest thing we did last year, we had a member had brain surgery. He's having a bunch of seizures, and we put together a really big event for him. And was able to raise some good money, and it was awesome. And lots of guys came together. We had all kinds of firemen across the country that did leather work or sold helmets, gloves, all kinds of stuff, come out and donate items. So that was really cool. And so we're hoping we can build something up for him as well and do the same thing and help him out the best we can.
Absolutely. I mean, because that's the second part of what we do at a chapter. One is we always want to try to get the best training we can. Truly embracing the brotherhood of the fire service and helping each other whenever we're down or we need help and everything else. It's a good way of resources. It's a good way to network with other people across the country, bouncing around different places and stuff. You guys are hopping. I mean, to be a fairly new chapter, and you getting on-site training coming up and doing work for some of your own brothers and trying to help them out. I mean, kudos to y'all. I mean, good job.
Yeah, most of it, honestly, man, is just kind of how it came out. We weren't really planning. Obviously, we had talked about helping each other out. I mean, if a situation arose and then it just happened to come up last year, and it went really well. And like I said, we had other departments kicking in, and everybody reaching out. People don't really realize how alive the brotherhood really is until others need help, and people come out of the woodworks everywhere to help. And it's awesome being in this job and this profession.
Absolutely. So, if it's okay with you, let's see. I'm going to help you out with a little bit of that information to see everybody else is watching. That way we can kind of trying to help our brother get the most help we can. If you go to the Yard Foundation, everybody is talking about it says a support for Garrett Morris, the brother fighting stage 2A cancer and it's time for us to have his back. He's got the back for everybody else when he puts on his uniform every day. Let's jump out and help a brother as much as we can. Like I say, it's on the Yard Foundation. That way you can click on it. You can give a monetary donation, anything else. It's got it where you can share it to your Facebook pages. All the rest of the chapters step up, help out this brother. It says he spent his whole career answering the call for others. Now he faces a battle that requires him to have some backup. Like you said, he's got stage 2 testicular cancer, and it's aggressively metastasized to his abdominal lymph nodes. He's already gone surgery. He's going through chemotherapy right now. Physical toll's heavy. We know there's a financial burden going on with that. You know, just what it says in the fire service, nobody fights alone. We're asking for our community and our brothers to stand up with Garrett. And with the cool thing about the Yard Foundation, you can help out this brother, and it's tax deductible. So that way, you know, it gives another thing. So everybody, if you can, donate, help what you can. If you can't, if you can't donate any money, put it on your social media and get some help out. Get word, spread it out, make it where people can understand. I can't hardly talk tonight. I need more coffee. But yeah, let's all step up together. Let's help out this brother. Kendall, what else you got you want to talk about?
Oh man, whatever, man. Like I said, I'm just I'm a huge nerd for the fire service. Best thing ever happened to me is going to my first FOOLS training event. I was almost a year in, and I was so ignorant. I thought I halfway knew the job, and you don't know what you don't know. And I got out there, and it was a hot FOOLS training, and man, it just opened my eyes how little I knew. And then, like I said, I just dove headfirst into it, traveled anywhere I could to go to events, and like I said, I'm just trying to bring as much of that back to our area as we can, because there's so much good information out there. I mean, there's no better time to be a firefighter than now. There's so much information, and we're not getting to run as many fires as people used to in the past. Lots of experience levels are down, so it's awesome if you can supplement some of that with outside training and get the knowledge. But I mean, I love engine work, truck stuff. I mean, I just love the fire service. Always trying to learn and share that passion with others. And sometimes I definitely learning how to tone that back some. Came off a little strong early on in my career, being a little over aggressive, wanting other people to be as passionate as me, but learning how to kind of tone that down some and help spread the word, get more people involved in the job.
Good deal. So are you guys looking at trying to maybe build a little micro conference in the future? I know you said you were talking about doing some lecture stuff, and
yeah, really the goal is, because by year 3, which would be the start of 2028, we'll be reevaluating our e-board and stuff. By that point, we would like to have about a mini conference coming up that first year, the start of our 4th year, I guess, would be kind of get the ball rolling. Like I said, I know right now we're trying to still slowly build up our funds, and in the future we're still trying to get to where we'll have enough funds to do like scholarships for high schoolers or volunteers, or anybody wanting to get into the fire service, and have mock interviews, stuff like that, help people get prepared for the job. But yeah, that's the main goal, is just keep the chapter moving forward, and hopefully by year 3 or 4 have enough members and traction going that we could put together a mini conference. Nothing crazy, but maybe a two-day, 1-day lecture, 1 day hot class, something.
Some of the best ones I've ever been to, was 5 guys that were sitting there doing the speaking engagements on a 1 day over lunch with everybody. Some of those were really good because they bring that different mindset. Everybody loves a hot class. Don't get me wrong. Anytime you can do some kind of hands-on training, it's great. But sometimes in order to keep moving forward, we just need to be able to sit down and just have some thought and good conversation on some stuff. Bring some other people in.
For sure.
So you said, with a young chapter, how many guys you got right now in the chapter?
Currently we're at 59. So we jumped up pretty quick around the 40s, and then we've slowly picked up a few members here and there. We've actually gotten lucky. Some of the guys that work in the DFW, but they live closer to us. They moved chapters. And it's cool having their experience, because, like I said, some of them, they've worked smaller departments are more suburban and now they're more urban, and so they understand some of our struggles. Lots of them volunteer back at home, so they get to see both sides of things. That really helps, and they have more contacts in some of those other departments down there, which helped us get in contact with other good instructors and lecturers and stuff like that in the area.
Good deal. Guys, Kendall Shaw, president of the Red River Fools, new chapter, fairly new chapter, growing, trying to make a difference. They got a brother that needs some help. Reach out and help them as much as you can. That's basically all we've got for you guys tonight. Stay tuned for tomorrow because the next chapter will be on the Fools Podcast Bash put on by the Firefighters Chalkboard. See you later.